Come to the parturition. Parturition means delivery of the fetus. It is what? Delivery of the fetus. After 9 months of pregnancy, the fully developed fetus send some signals to the mother's pituitary gland to expel out, to come out from the mother's womb. That process of delivering of or expulsion of the fetus is called what? Parturition. So the parturition is a neuroendocrine mechanism. It is a complex neuroendocrine mechanism. Neuroendocrine reflex or mechanism, you can say mechanism. That means in this process both nervous system and endocrine system both are participated. Okay, how it will be? For example, if it is the fetus, the fully developed fetus it is, and this fetus is present in the mother's womb. So like this. Now this baby should be come out through the birth canal. Birth canal means what? The cervix and vagina together called the birth canal. The completely developed fetus and placenta. The fetus and the placenta. Once they think like, yes, it is completed, I have to come out and I have to say hi to the world. Like that, when the baby decided to come out, the fully developed fetus and placenta, they send a nerve signal to the pituitary gland of the mother's pituitary gland. Okay, they send one neural reflex to the pituitary gland. This reflex is called fetus ejection reflex. Fetus ejection reflex. It is by what? Fetus ejection reflex is sent by fully developed fetus plus placenta. Both together they send this fetus ejection reflex. To what? It is to pituitary. It is not a fetal pituitary. It is not a fetus pituitary. It is a maternal pituitary. Maternal pituitary. From the pituitary gland, which part? Posterior lobe. Posterior lobe. From the pituitary gland, one hormone is released. That hormone name is oxytocin. Very important. If there is any pregnant woman didn't get the labor pain after the complete development of the baby also, if after the 9 months of pregnancy also, 9 months of gestation also, if the mother didn't get the labor pains, doctor give one injection. That injection is nothing but oxytocin. Oxytocin is very important for the expulsion of the fetus and the placenta. So that oxytocin is generally released by the pituitary gland by receiving the fetus ejection reflex from the fully developed fetus and placenta. What it will do? This oxytocin work on the uterus wall, particularly myometrium. Oxytocin function is works on the smooth muscles. Here also there is a smooth muscle, myometrium. That myometrium undergo contractions. So what is parturition means? Parturition is a neuroendocrine mechanism it is, and in this process labor is started from the uterus wall. Like 9 months pregnant woman is there, like 9 months gestation is completed and she is ready to deliver the fetus. At that time mild uterine contractions are started. Mild uterine contractions. The mild uterine contractions are called labor. This is called what? Labor. This labor gives signal to the pituitary gland. That labor gives signals to the pituitary gland. Immediately pituitary gland releases the oxytocin. This oxytocin works on the uterine wall again. So it is a cycle. So first uterus contracts, that is called labor pain, and this uterine contraction is because of the fully developed fetus and placenta. Fully developed fetus and placenta, they give one jerk to the uterine wall. The uterine wall get contract and it try to expel that baby out without any involvement of any oxytocin. It starts its contraction. When it going to contract, immediately that gives stimulation to the pituitary gland and that releases the oxytocin. The oxytocin works on the uterine wall and it increases the contractions of the uterus. It increases even more stronger contractions. Okay. The strongly contracting uterine wall send continuous signals to the pituitary gland, that is positive feedback. I want more oxytocin. This is not sufficient to expel the baby and this baby is very stubborn and strong. I want more oxytocin. Pituitary gland produces more amount of oxytocin that is received by the uterus and it gives another stimulation. I want still more. So like the oxytocin gives the more stronger stimulus to the uterus wall, and uterus wall undergo contractions stronger, even more stronger. Like that more uterine contractions are try to expel the baby out through the birth canal. This process of expulsion of the fetus and the placenta, it is called what? Parturition. The process of expulsion of the fetus is called parturition. Soon after the baby delivered, placenta and decidua also comes out through the vagina. Is it clear about the parturition? Now, after the delivery, what will happen? It leads to the next step, that is lactation. We will discuss the lactation also in this video. Lactation. So come to the lactation. It is the property of mammals because mammals have the mammary glands to give the milk. So from the during the pregnancy, during the gestation period only, from the placenta, prolactin is secreted. Human placental lactogen, HPL. Human placental lactogen is secreted, which is act like a prolactin. We already discussed from the placenta, prolactin is secreted. This prolactin works on the mammary glands. The mammary glands get differentiated, get proliferates, that alveolar cells get proliferate, they get differentiate and they start secreting milk into the sacs of the alveoli. And it helps in the enlargement of the breast and it maintains the health of the breast, health of the mammary glands and enlargement of the mammary glands and secretion of the milk within the alveolar sacs. So this is the function of prolactin. Some amount of prolactin is secreted from the mother's pituitary gland also. So this prolactin and HPL both helps in the maturation of the mammary glands until the it is continuous process from the middle of the pregnancy time to the end of the pregnancy. At the end of the pregnancy, it continuously happening. So immediately after the delivery of the fetus, the breast milk is ready to give to the baby. Like after the delivery only, not prepare the milk. Before the delivery only, the milk is prepared and the breast is ready to give the milk to the young one which is delivered out. Okay. Now what is required to give that milk to the baby? HPL. Okay. Next, the fully developed fetus which is delivered out, when the baby is going to suck the milk from the breast, it gives a stimulation to the mother's pituitary and that releases oxytocin. Again, oxytocin works on the breast muscles. Breast muscles also smooth muscles only. When oxytocin is secreted within the mother's pituitary gland, from the pituitary gland, if it is releases, that works on the breast and that constrict the mammary tubules, mammary ductules. Through that mammary tubules and ductules, the milk comes out and that is sucked by the the baby. So oxytocin is very important. That oxytocin is important and it works on the breast muscles that helps in the release of the milk. Okay. And why breast milk is very important to the fetus and to the mother also. The first initial few days of milk is called what? Colostrum. The yellowish milk which is secreted during initial few days of lactation. Yellowish milk during initial few days of lactation. Initial few days of lactation is called colostrum. Why it is so important? Because colostrum have IgA type of antibodies, very important, which is a passive immunity to the developing fetus. Passive immunity. IgA is present in the colostrum. Not only this, so much of very important nutrients are present in the colostrum. And later phase also, the breast milk is very important because it is going to protect the baby from the harmful diseases, and it gives a resistant power against so many diseases. So breast milk is suggested by so many doctors. And another one important point, breast milk is not only useful and helpful for the infant, it also helps the mother also. Whenever the oxytocin is released inside the mother, the uterus wall which is ruptured at the time of the delivery, the uterus wall get ruptured, right? So that uterus wall should be rebuilt. For the rebuilding of the uterine wall, oxytocin is required. From where the oxytocin is secreted? From the mother's pituitary gland. When it is released, when the baby sucks the milk, at that time only oxytocin is released. Oxytocin hormone is called love hormone. It is also called bonding hormone. Because of the oxytocin hormone, there is a great love between the mother and the fetus. So when the baby sucks the milk from the breast, oxytocin is released. That increases the bonding between the fetus and the mother, and that helps in the rebuilding of the recovery of the uterine health, and that maintains the regular metabolic activities of the mother also. When the mother get endometrium in a speed manner, if the endometrium get recovered, rebuilt within 5 months or 6 months, if it is worked, she is directly enter into the next menstrual cycle, and she can lead a successful healthy life. So breastfeeding is not only important for the fetus, it is even more important to the mother. And colostrum is called, colostrum is what? The initial few days of lactation, which have the immunoglobulins like IgA and more nutrients. That yellowish colored milk is called what? Colostrum. So this is about the human reproduction, and we will discuss the next chapter, reproductive health, in the next video. Thank you.